Obviously, a long chat with the team there at the end.
Yep.
Just tell me.
Well, biggest thing I told him is, you don't have to get a little bit out of control to be successful and have a good work week. Thought they did some really good things today. Really pleased with a lot of the positives, a lot of the pluses. But we didn't need the fighting, and that was one of my biggest messages. Guys, you got to go out there and play football. You got to perform, do your job, do what you're supposed to. All that other stuff's not important. It doesn't help us win football games. Just wanted to make sure they understand it. I think part of our thing is just understanding how to be a mature football team, and I think that's important. We've shown some good growth, some good maturity, but this was a good test to just understand what it takes to be really good.
It seemed like all that stuff happened kind of in the first part of
Yep.
practice. What does that say about your team and how you responded? And also, what did you say to the big group to make it stop?
I told him to behave. I just told him, I hate it. I really do. I hate it when I played. It didn't make sense to me. It really didn't, because all it does is get in the way of practice. And, we wasted some time that could have been used to get those reps that we needed. That was really the message about all that stuff more than anything else.
As for the actual evaluation, what did you make of your first team offensive line? How held up over the 2 days?
I thought they did hold their own. I really did. That's a good football team that they go up against. They got a tremendous scheme, and I thought our guys handled it. I thought they adjusted really well to some of the things that went on. We got beat a couple times, but a couple times we did some really good things that we could really hang our hat on. A lot of improvement. Very pleased with the play of the quarterback. So I thought Sam did a great job. This is one of the things that we talked about, how important that these 2 days would be in our evaluation process. And there's a lot of questions we wanted answered. And yesterday's tape I was really pleased with, for not just the quarterbacks, for him specifically as well. He did some really good things, threw some real good balls. His ball placement, his accuracy was what we needed. Decision making was very plus. So again, I'm looking forward to watching the tape and with Eric and Tavita, and really get a chance to evaluate him again after yesterday's practice.
Real quick to follow up on that, some teams around the league have started naming their starters for the regular season. Are you in a place where you're ready to say Sammy's your quarterback?
Well, again, I said I got to sit down with both Eric and Sam, Eric and Tavita, and really evaluate it and make sure he's doing the things that we need him to do. And yesterday he had a really good day. We're really pleased with it after having watched the tape. And we'll see how it is after we get a chance to watch this tape together. We're traveling today, so we'll sit down tomorrow and go through it and talk about Sam and really just evaluate that and evaluate Jacoby as well. I mean, Jacoby did some really good things too, so we feel really comfortable about the quarterback room right now.
Ryan, did you see Sam take maybe a big extra step up than he's taken in camp so far, just being out here with the Raiders?
I think that's one of the things that we were hoping, is that when we got out here and the stuff was pretty close to real, see how he handled it. And he handled it well, and he made some real good decisions. As I said, his ball placement was really good. His decision making was exceptionally good, and he delivered on time for the most part. When he went off platform, scrabbled around a little bit, eyes were downfield. He was able to find guys and make those kind of throws and plays that you need to help the team keep going forward.
What are some, when you
Sam doing what he needs to do, and you're elaborating on what he's been doing.
Right.
What do you need to see from him to say 100% he's okay?
Well, I think it's continue what he's shown in the command in the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, handle those things that go on, okay? Put us in the right protections, make the right signals and calls to the receivers, and then go out and execute, which we've seen. And he did it well in the first preseason game. He's done it well throughout camp. Probably the biggest thing that I'm really pleased about has been his decision making, and that has been a big plus. So we'll get a chance to evaluate tomorrow after we get back, and get a chance to settle back into to Ashburn, and then we'll go from there.
Ron, was there a time with some of that decision making or getting into the right plays that really stood out to you out here, whether today or yesterday?
I think today was a really good indication, because there was a lot of emotion out there, and he had to stay cool and remain cool and calm, and kind of exude that to his teammates to get them refocused and practice. And that's probably the most important thing, is you lead your guys through situations like that. It shows, and it kind of showed today. I was really pleased with that.
How does he do that? Just the demeanor, or how does he do that?
I think part of it's his demeanor and part of some of the words he uses. I mean, he's very selective. He's very direct to certain guys. He'll come up and say some things. It's not broad for the most part. So when he gets into the huddle, though, there is a calmness about him.
With Logan, have any of the tight ends really stepped up and stood out to you at all?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I've been very pleased with what I've seen from John Bates. I thought he blocked extremely well. And then as a guy coming out late after chipping or blocking, he presents a really nice target. Made a couple of big catches today. that really kind of showed, you know, the kind of check down he can be for the quarterbacks.
Does Alex Arma's position flexibility with the running?
Absolutely, absolutely, and on special teams as well. I mean, he's a four-phase guy, but you know, when you have the flexibility that if something were to happen to that position, he could go outside and do that, and then come back in and play fullback. That's a big plus for him. And again, it'll be all part of the discussion when we get time to get down to cut down time. I know what you're trying to do.
Hey, two more. On the injury front, Sadiq, just no pads today, and then Charles last series wasn't out there.
We shut Sadiq down during practice. He was feeling a little bit, so we just kind of set it down to be careful, just to be careful.
Okay. And how about Charles? Did you just rest him at the end? Or?
Yeah, we rested Charles at the end. That was done consciously to get him off the field.
I rested Ben.
Yeah.
Last one.
Andre Jones.
Yes.
What have you seen from him?
Wow. He's a dynamic young man. He's got some explosion off the edge. You know, he's got a lot to learn in terms of technique and the scheme itself, but his talent, his abilities did show. So, you know, he's a guy that's we got to pay a little extra attention to this week.
I think when he came in, the rap on him about he was a little raw. Has he kind of exceeded
Oh, yeah.
expectations?
Yes, he has. He has. We thought this would be one of those learning things, and he seems to be assimilating very nicely. But as I said, he's still got some more things to learn.
What do you make of on the last 11 2 series of Sam? It seemed a little rough there. What did you kind of make of
Well, they ran a couple pressures against us in the first couple of plays, and we were a little rough there. But then as they settled down, I thought Sam handled it very well. I thought Sam got out of the pocket a couple times off platform and threw some really good balls downfield. I thought that was really good to see.
All right, thanks, Coach.